Unlike every other video you've seen like this, I've actually tried every single one of the sites to make money online that I'm going to be showing you in today's video. I literally have a Google Doc right next to me filled with 15 sites and about a page of notes for every single one of them. So if you guys don't get some value out of this video, then you're just simply not paying attention. So the first site I gave a shot was to Captcha. This site is fine, I guess. I mean, you don't get paid a lot, but like if you need money today, and I guess if you can't go get a job at Mickey D's flipping burgers for some reason, then I guess this would be kind of better. But like genuinely, if you just went to Mickey D's flipping burgers, you'd make more per hour, because essentially what you're doing is that you're getting paid $1 per 1,000 solved captchas. So let's be nice and say it only takes you 10 minutes to fill out 1,000 of these. It won't. It's going to take you much longer, but let's just say it takes you 10 minutes. That would mean $6 an hour. If you went and flipped burgers at any McDonald's, it would be $7.50 an hour. You'd make more. So this isn't a good site. I wouldn't recommend this. Next thing I got y'all is FreeCash. I've spent about a dozen hours on FreeCash, and guess how much I made total? 25 cents. Yeah, this is a real valuable use of your time. Let me tell you why these GPT sites mostly suck. The reason why is because you don't get the payouts that you actually deserve for what you're doing. FreeCash, fun fact, gives you about 30% of what each of these surveys are worth, because what they're betting on is something called breakage, which is essentially when someone gets paid for something and then they don't meet the minimum threshold requirements, which therefore means that their money is just gone, and then they just take all the money and run. Half the time they don't even give you your payouts. FreeCash kind of sucks, and I don't know why you would spend your time on FreeCash. Like, I got sites I'm going to show you at the later of this video that if I want Gucci, if I want Prada, if I want a fucking car, I pull up to those sites and they get down on their hands and knees and beg me to take it from them, and then they give me money for doing it. So I'm going to teach you how to do that near the end of this video. Next site I gave a shot was Savvy Connect. Savvy Connect is fine, I guess. You can just stick it on your phone. Tapestry works a lot like this, where if you guys just go ahead and smack this right on your phone, you guys will go ahead and make a little bit of money every single month. It will be a solid $3 maybe. In my experience, it was usually $1, and you're basically selling all of your own private data for that, which honestly your private data gets sold anyway. So if you want to be able to afford 3 spicy McChicken sandwiches at McDonald's for one day, then you guys can go ahead and download this and get 3 of those for free a month. Next up is Prolific. Basically what you're doing on Prolific is that you're going ahead and matching data sets with AI driven tools. So you look at a crappy AI generated drawing of a monkey, because that's what you are if you go ahead and use this site, and you look at this monkey and you're like, look at the monkey, I gotta make sure to go, it's a monkey, right guys? And then you click the button and you do this for hours and you make a solid $5 an hour on average from what I've seen. Again, go flip burgers. It'd be cheaper. Oh, but I'm working online from home, bro. But if you just went and flipped burgers, you'd get more money. On top of that, you wouldn't have to deal with taxes because your taxes would automatically get out of your paycheck. On top of that, you would even get a tax return most years. On top of that, you probably get most of that money back anyway because you don't even meet the thresholds. Next up is Validity. Basically, in Validity, what you do is that you go ahead and download software, you brutally test them. It takes about 4 hours per piece of software, and once you do that, you can go ahead and then get some free Robux. Wow, I made a solid $10 out of 4 hours of work, $2.50 an hour. We're going back to flip burgers. If you think this is a good option for your time, go flip burgers. The reason why is because flipping burgers would value your time more than it would be doing something like this. List first. This one is actually interesting. If you guys go ahead and create a list, which you can use ChatGPT for, oh, but you're not supposed to use ChatGPT. Use the term of service. Shut up, narc. Who cares? Every single one of these is written with ChatGPT. It doesn't matter. You can get paid 50 cents per one of these. So maybe if you guys can go ahead and get a VA on it, you can go ahead and cash out a little bit. If you're paying them, let's say 10 cents per ChatGPT written article, and they go ahead and grind out maybe 100 of those, you could make an easy $50 a day from something like this if you go ahead and fully automate it. $50 in revenue, probably about 40 in profit. It's not bad. They'll probably end up banning you because you're doing it a little bit too quick, but then you just make a new account. And you could just keep generating these, and there's a ton of these lists. Basically what these lists end up getting used on is they get used on articles, and then list first will go ahead and resell them to anyone else. It's not bad, it's just fine, you know? You could set it up, it could be passive, and you could make a little bit of money from it, but it's not gonna be anything crazy. So this one is interesting. This one is called Clarity. Basically what you do on Clarity is that you go ahead and sign up as a world-class expert, and then what you do from there is that you just go ahead and tell people, hey, your startup sucks or your startup is actually good. And I'll give you all a quick method for this. If you guys wanna go ahead and actually have some validity for being a quote-unquote expert, what you can do is that you can write a set of articles and then go ahead and go to any site. There's a bunch of PR case study sites that you guys can go ahead and submit to, which basically journalists will draw from these these case studies and then create articles out of them if they really, really need it. And you can upload a bunch of them and maybe one of your articles get featured. And then from that, you'll actually rank in search. So when someone Googles your name, your stupid Instagram account where you repost shitty memes doesn't actually come up first. It comes up this article that labels you as this world-class expert in whatever. And then using this, I was able to run up a band or two before I got caught. But you know, it is what it is. If you guys want to use this, that's not a bad method. I got sites later that are so much easier that you can make so much more from, and it's fine. If you want to use it, go ahead and use it. It's not that big of a deal, but that's the method. Next up is user feel. So I like user feel a little bit more than validity because you actually get just paid a lot more for this one. On top of that, you can very easily, reasonably just start outsourcing these, and you can get paid about $30 per user test. And on average, from what I've seen, it's about 20. So it's not bad. And if you guys go ahead and outsource it with like a VA from Pakistan, which if you don't know how to get a VA, you can either go to Fiverr and hire a VA. I've hired VAs multiple times and I just teach them how to do things like this. You can go ahead and record a loom about them. You can make posts about it in Discords. You can also go to this site called Online Jobs PH. Now keep in mind, you need to run up about $100 to be able to use this site. However, with that being said, you can get cheap ass labor here, which then you can go ahead and use and just put them to work in the user testing site. And you can go ahead and just create a sweatshop. If I was going to create a sweatshop, which I might have in the past, I don't know, I would go ahead and do it with a better method because there's a lot better methods than going ahead and doing something like this because you can get paid a lot more per sweatshop thing. Think video editing, think thumbnail production, think even essay writing, think anything with ChatGPT. There's a ton of money to go ahead and be made if you guys go ahead and create a sweatshop with a site like Online Jobs PH. Again, it costs a little bit of money. If you don't want to spend any money, go to Fiverr or go to Upwork, but Upwork also requires money, so keep that in mind. You can also just go to Discord. I use Discord all the time for shit like that, and that works pretty well for me. Next up is TaskRabbit. I ran up about 10 bands actually doing videography work from TaskRabbit because that's what I used to do. Because when I was in college, you know, being a brokey, being an idiot, I went ahead and did videography work in my local area, which I was able to cash out about 10 bands from, which, you know, would pay for my Robin, which would pay for my coffee when I was in college, and it'd pay for my food, it'd pay for my dorm, and you know what? That was good enough for me. So you guys can use something like TaskRabbit and go ahead and just basically make yourself actually useful in the market, and you'd get paid a little bit more from TaskRabbit if you actually did it full time and had some fucking discipline. Because let me spit some game for y'all. Most people in most businesses would succeed, from what I've seen, if they just put in the fucking work. Most people are just lazy. Like, I shit you not. I have given out methods that have made people thousands of dollars and they just don't use them because they ain't got no fucking skin in the game. So if you guys want to go ahead and actually cash out some real money, then go ahead and use something like TaskRabbit, because you can make real money from TaskRabbit if you're actually willing to do some goddamn work, get off TikTok, stop playing League, and make some money. HipCamp is a good way to make money if you happen to own a piece of land for some reason. So for me, my family member recently died and I inherited the piece of land. I pay the fucking tax on it, and guess what I do? I listed on HipCamp and I rack bands by going ahead and just letting people camp on it. And usually most of the time they don't make a mess out of anything. If they do make a mess out of anything, I just call a cleaner and they go ahead and pick it up for me. And I have run up a couple bands with this method. This is not a bad method. I will say is that you don't get paid as much if you actually went ahead and actually put some money into the property and then created more vacation real estate, which I would recommend the next site for that. So this is actually something I'm moving into very, very shortly, which if you guys are interested, make sure you guys go ahead and hit subscribe because I'll go ahead and make videos about it. What my plan is basically on the property that I own, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a road, I'm gonna put water, sewage, electricity, and an outlet for an RV. On top of that, I'm gonna stick a tiny house on there, which you can buy tiny houses for less than 10 racks. It's not that much. And then you can go ahead and just stick it on there. I could charge up to a rack a weekend for that, which if I book it out for 4 weekends a month, that's $4 grand racked a month. Pretty reasonably easy, especially considering the area in which I have this property to be pretty nice. Now, if you don't have property, you're fucked. Unless you actually pay attention to the next site I'm going to go ahead and show you, because if you don't have 50 bands, I'm going to teach you how to get 50 bands real quick, which I don't need to teach you how, but I like helping people. That's what I enjoy. I don't need more money. I don't need more Gucci. I don't need more Prada. I already fucking got it. I like helping people. If you want to be helped, pay attention to the next site, because it's actually a site you use daily that I actually got on my taskbar right here, if you guys pay attention, that nobody really knows this method. It's hilarious. Guess what I do when I want shit for free from youtube.com? Navigate over to my right, I hit the create button, and I hit upload video. Huh? What? How can I get whatever I want for free if I just hit that upload video button? Remember when I told you I got companies bending over backwards, just giving me free shit, and then I resell that shit, and then I run up bands because of it? Yeah, this is the site. Whenever I want something for free, I go to youtube.com. The only site you should be visiting more than youtube.com, if you guys want to make real money, is going to xavier.net. On xavier.net, I literally got the cheat codes to life for you guys. And if you guys don't go ahead and check them out, you're doing yourself a disservice. Check out aviernet. First link in the description. I will teach you how to get literally anything for free. You want 50 bands of free shit? I got you. I'll put it in your pocket for you. On top of that, I have a bunch of secrets and hidden goodies for people who actually pay attention and watch the videos and actually read through everything. So if you guys are interested in actually running up some real money, go to aviernet. Hit this learn more button. Click around. Make yourself a little bit useful. Do some reading. Put down the phone. Get off TikTok. However much time you spend on onlyfans.com, pornhub.com, beating your meat twice a day, on IG.com, beating your meat to these lazy people who literally get shit for free all the time. Like, do you think celebrities or anybody you see online, when you see them in Bangkok, in Thailand, in Bali, running up Prada, running up Gucci, wearing the red boots, whatever, do you really think they paid for that? You want to know the real method? This is the real method. It's to make value for people. And I will teach you how to create value. These celebrities create value for companies, which then they bend over backwards, begging for them to run through them, and then they get paid for it. Isn't that wild? They get free shit and then they get paid for it. Doesn't that make you mad? You buy things like a peasant. You want Chipotle, you go to Chipotle. When I want Chipotle, I go to youtube.com and I get it for free. Go to aviernet. That's the method. See ya.